This is your girl Karina Dean, and I am back with an impromptu video for you, and I'm talking about being overweight in society. And I want to do this because we are in cancer season, and cancer is a lot about the mothering, nurturing part of ourselves, and it's also about protection. And what I have been learning is that protection really is an art form of self-love, and we all protect in different ways. So I might piss off a bunch of fitness experts right now, I might piss off a bunch of vegans right now, but I'm talking to my thick people out there. I'm talking to those who experience constant losses and gains of being overweight. And the biggest thing that I want to say is that what you go through on a physical basis is sometimes and often judged a lot more than what other people go through. So it's very easy to point your fingers at somebody who is evidently like experiencing weight loss or weight gain because it's more physical. We live in a very superficial world, right? So people will come to conclusions based off of a popular concept of what they think is healthy, and then point their fingers at you and expecting you to abide by these standards. And this is what is often experienced by those who are a little bit thicker than your regular types, but weight gain really is a form of protection. So those who actually experience weight gain often have to deal with the superficial reality that is placed upon them, because most people make judgments off of first call, off of what they see and what their standards are, right? So they're pointing their fingers at you, they're judging you off of something of their own standard. So yes, it's very easy for, people who understand healthy eating, alkaline eating, whatever, they'll pretty much want to help you attain a better lifestyle within your body, but how much do they want to is really based off of their own self-love of self, because they won't point fingers and they won't shame you into actually doing the work that you need to do. So basically the biggest thing that I have to say to those who deal with image issues is to always make a choice off of you. Don't make a choice off of other people shaming you. Through my experience when it comes to weight gain and weight loss, one of my biggest fears was that when I lost the weight, people would like me more. That was one of my biggest fears, because I know that people are superficial and that they come to these new epiphanies about you once you have acquired like a certain look that they deem as right. And then my biggest fear was that even if I gained a little bit of weight, they would treat me differently. And that shit is real, because people do. People do treat you differently based off of your appearance. Very often people point their fingers at you and they say that you are the problem. Those who actually retain weight are actually shielding themselves from their environment. That's what real weight gain is, shielding yourself from the very harsh environment, the superficial environment, because they come to conclusions off of your appearance rather than your mentality, rather than your ability to love another person. So you can be put in a box from the instant that somebody meets you. And on top of that, these people who are judging you are making judgments off of what exactly? Off of their standards. So one of the number one things that I recommend for people who experience, having to deal with their body, and I recommend self-love first. I recommend to see your weight gain or how it is that your body is as a form of protection from the ones who are the closest to you, because specifically when you are gaining weight, you are protecting yourself from the closest encounters, right? And it's also like a place of being in transition, because you are experiencing life in a different way, and your body, your weight is actually like a shell. You experience life in probably a lot more of a sensitive way. maybe you don't necessarily want to abide by people's standards, or you just know that people really just want, do they really want the best for you, or do they just really want the best that they think? And that's really kind of limited as well. So I encourage people to see weight gain as a form of self-protection. And the number one reason that you want to lose weight is because you want to do it, not because somebody is shielding you from doing it. And the other thing is, explore yourself on why it is that you want to lose weight, because especially you think you're doing it for yourself, but really you're doing it because of society's image that they put on you. Or you're doing it because, you know, people judge you and they think that you're not eating right or whatever. Like, fuck them. You know, like, I know a lot of vegans who will say, oh, I don't want to be around parasitic people, and they're the parasites themselves. Because really, this idea of self-consciousness is not just about how it is that you eat, it's about how it is that you treat people. So it's all around. It's a full spectrum of self-consciousness, just not just in the way, in the things that you eat. Some people are actually able to channel more understanding because they do have parasites in them. This idea of good and bad is stupid at this point. This idea of being like the perfect being is actually going to lead you down a road of self-hate, because the perfection is limited. So the biggest encouragement that I have is to know thyself and make changes because you want to make them. You know, and make small changes as well. Don't try to jump into something, and definitely be aware of the shame that people put on you when you're fluctuating in weight, because specifically as women, our bodies change constantly. We're gaining weight, we're losing weight, we're retaining water, we're losing water, right? And how it is that we see ourselves will determine how it is that we treat ourselves. So if you're around people who won't treat you a certain way, or won't even see you as intellectual just because you don't eat alkaline foods, like, you're putting yourself in an environment that is not treating you and nurturing you the way that you are desire to, and the way that you deserve. And this is why you're probably gaining weight, because you're actually creating a shell over you, because you're around these people who continue to shame you. So yes, it is important to eat healthy. It's important to exercise, but don't eat foods that you don't like, you know, like, eat foods that make you excited about eating food, you know, do workouts that make you excited about doing workouts, and pay attention to the people who are with you from the beginning to end, you know. And yeah, there will be some people who really give you more attention when you lose weight, you know, and just take note of it. I'm not necessarily saying to make a judgment, but take note of it and look at your own fears on why it is that you would want to lose weight. Because another reason that you're not losing the weight is because you have fears about how people will treat you. So those were my fears, is that people change, right? They'll talk to you and see you in a certain way due to the fact that you're slimmer, and then, but a lot of slim people don't eat vegan food. You know, a lot of slim people are not alkaline. There's a lot of slim people who are not strong in their ability to run, to work out, to create. So being slim is not what you're really desiring, is being healthy. And being healthy starts with the mentality and the perspective that you have upon yourself. So if you flock towards people who shame you, then you're actually just keeping yourself in this cycle. You know, you're keeping yourself in the cycle of being around people who will shame you, even subconsciously, because you know that, you know, oh, I gained a few pounds here, I lost a few pounds there, you know, and now you feel like you need to, like, explain yourself. You don't need to explain yourself. The people who love you are the people who accept you at all stages of your life, specifically all stages of your, you know, of your fitness and body image. So keep yourself around people who will nurture you and love you despite how it is that you look, who it is that you are. Be the first choice. Make the first choice to be around people who accept you. You know, and if there's somebody that you see that has the info or who can help you get where you want, still, you know, make sure that you're making the moves that allow you to say, I'm still not doing this for them. You know, they have something that I desire that I could use and utilize, but still make sure that when you make choices about eating healthy and that you make choices about working out, that you're doing it because it's something you love to do. That is what a healthy lifestyle is that you're not doing it because you feel shame to do it. You're doing it because you love to do it. And the more that you do things that you love to do, the more that you'll see that the weight comes off, or you're just in a better place of enjoying your body image and your body perspective. So I'm specifically talking about this because I too have been on this journey, and I'm at the apex where I'm ready to be different and be stronger, and I'm just reminding myself of the lessons I learned, you know, fluctuating in weight loss and weight gain, is that it's not about people. And specifically what I have chosen to do is to protect myself physically from these people by not being around them. If they show any sort of sense that they're going to judge me off of how I look, I actually am not around them. Because if I'm around them, what ends up happening is I'm still going to protect myself. I'm going to do what I need to do to protect. And for me, it looks like gaining weight. Because some of us biologically are going to gain weight, and that's how we learn how to protect ourselves. So we're very sensitive beings, you know, and you gotta nurture your emotions, nurture your sensitivities, understand why it is that you eat when you eat, understand why it is that you feel certain things, and that's why you are pulled towards certain foods, and know that when you feel certain things, that's why you're pulled towards certain people. So the first step to really regaining a healthy lifestyle, I believe, is to do everything in honor of you, to address your feelings, and then to make sure you're putting yourself in an environment that nurtures you, that supports you, and that will be consistent, that loves you whether you're heavier or not, you know? So self-love is key. And I believe that it starts with looking in the mirror and physically loving what you see. Because if you don't do that, if you don't do that work, then you go out and people, they just project onto you. You know, everybody's got an agenda, and some of them are really, yeah, they may appear like they want to help you. They're like, sign up for my fitness regimen or sign up for my dietary regimen, but are they acting towards you in self-love? So that's pretty much what I wanted to say today, and I'm really passionate about this. There's this thing that I call mirror work, in which I say get in front of a mirror, take your clothes off, and just like stare at your body and look at the feelings, the thoughts that are coming to you as you stare at yourself in the mirror. You know, mirror is a very powerful magic, the mirror. So when you start to say, wow, when you start to look in the mirror and you're like, okay, I don't like this part about me, right? You're actually partaking in a ritual. So the mirror work could be, I'm going to stand in front of this mirror and I'm going to look for something that I love about my body, right? So you're creating a nurturing sense of self. And the more that you look and acknowledge what you love, then you start to love the things that you may not have loved so much. You just start to be in a place of more appreciation for yourself. And that's the key. So if you're experiencing any sort of issues with your weight, you know, if you're in the box that I'm constantly in, be aware of the people that you keep around you. Yes, be aware of the superficial mentalities of people around you. You know, because they look at magazines, they look at themselves, they think they're the shit, you know what I'm saying? But they're just like hollow inside. Like they think that they have the answers to what it means to be healthy, but they don't act in self-love. They shame you, making you think that you should lose weight. That's not self-love. They're not coming from a place of self-love. More than likely, if you surround yourself with people who shame you, you may lose weight, but then it will come back. So be around people who make you feel good, and try that mirror work and see if that helps you to start changing your mentality about your body. So this is your girl, Karina Dean. I am going to the Zodiac Lounge, gonna do some readings. So if you're in Brooklyn and you want to get some readings today, come check me out, the Zodiac Lounge. Samuel Reynolds is the creator of it, and he's actually doing a speech on cancer. And cancer is that energy, that mother love energy. But cancer also has to protect themselves. You know, they have to have that shell on sometimes, because the world is a harsh place and cancer is very vulnerable, that cancer energy. So this is for the people who need it, and that's it. Mwah. Bye.